you can make somebody see you for the way you see yourself. Maybe they'll not see you exactly the way you see yourself, but they'll put some respect on your name. Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, where I talk about the highlights of folks like myself in our 20s. Highlights ranging from career in tech, relationship and lifestyle. If this is your first time joining, please do not make it your last by clicking on the subscribe button. Also like, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. So guys, before I go into today's video, if you like the wig on my head, this nice tantalizing looking bone straight, this is from Reni hairs, and I'm going to be putting the Instagram link in the description box for you guys to check them out. This is proper quality bone straight. So please, let's support small businesses. Yeah, thank you. So back into today's video, I'm going to be talking about, I'm sure you'd have gotten a glimpse of what this video is going to be talking about from the flyer, yeah, from the design. So today I'm going to be talking about why our 20s seem like the hardest. Yeah, literally the hardest. Moving into your 20s is like, it's like entering into a whole new world, because you are actively living childhood, or the teenagehood now, or adolescencehood, whatever hood, you're just living it to the main hood, the adulthood now, and it is most times overwhelming for majority of us, and this is mostly because there's a lot of us do not have there was not like notice that you see yourself that okay, you're adding your age is increasing by the year, but it just dawns on you like, okay, there's no really coping mechanism in place basically for us. So navigating through it is simply like, it looks like the hardest. A phase that comes with self-realization, a phase that comes with a lot of uncertainty, and it's really not clear. There's no really like clarity like that, because we're still like trying to find our way, trying to like find ourselves in the society. It comes with a lot of challenges. Now I'm not saying that your later years don't have their own challenges or tough times too, but it's different because you've grown. Whatever you're experiencing will not like shake you the way it will shake you when you are in your 20s, or when you were in your 20s. Like when you're in your 30s, your 40s, like when you're actually older than your 20s, the experiences that whatever it is you experience that time, most times it's not as new, because you're no longer a novice anymore. It's not as new as when you were in your 20s. Like there are some thoughts that could come to your head in having to, like, when you find yourself in a difficult situation, there are thoughts that will come to your head on how to like get your way through it, unlike when you were in your 20s. Basically, you'd have experienced growth and development. But for those of us in our 20s, it comes with a whole lot, and especially for majority of us that want to do Mr. and Mrs. Independent, like, okay, I'm an adult now, so I don't stay in my dad's house, I don't stay in my father's house. It is good though, independence is good, but if you can afford to stay in your parents' house, stay. If you can afford to stay there, rather stay there, because the street is saying a whole lot. Like, you are literally this phase, like you're literally entering a phase that demands you to take responsibility. Responsibility for yourself, for your needs. It's a phase that you have to make life-changing decisions like in your career, finances, even in your relationships. It's a phase where you're going to actually lose people and gain people. It's a phase where you could even like doubt yourself because of situations that are around you. But I feel like there are ways around it, and as I'm going to be highlighting, I'm highlighting the things that make it look like our 20s are the worst. I'm just going to be dropping some tips on how I navigate them, like when I experience something similar to that. So I'm just going to be I have points written down that I'm going to be speaking on. So number one thing on my list is that makes it look like our 20s is the hardest is trying to be self-sufficient while also we're trying to be self-sufficient with little or no budget. Yes, guys. uh, See, for those of us that are in this part of the world, in this part of Africa, like Nigeria, I mean, in Nigeria, this is Nigeria. We are in a system that you are basically your own system. The system does not really work, so trying to start out with little or no budget is almost impossible. It's almost impossible because there are a lot of challenges you are going to face. Again, you are going to face, like, again, especially for people that want to leave the house, like want to leave your parents' house and fend for yourself. You should have had a plan, not necessarily on long term, but something to start with, so it's not going to be like all difficult and blurry when you just like, okay, step out. Yeah, so in situations like that, it's advisable to have a plan before like stepping out of your parents' house, that is in quotes your comfort zone. Yeah. So, and aside that, again, another thing that can help in a situation like that is you should live below your means. Even as hard as that sounds, it's most times really, really helpful to do that. It's going to be quite difficult, especially when you like see things around you, like your peers and basically more opportune people. It's something, in a way, you're going to like talk to yourself that like some things will come to your head, like life no balance, but guy, it is your own how I put it now, it's your own track and it's peculiar to you. So in situations like that, just live below your means and if possible make plans. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to say for that point. Then the next on my list is that makes our things look like the hardest is living the student life to the working class life. Guy. God, in this situation, you know, like you are in school, you are getting little incentive, little allowance here and there, and it's not like really make preparation for when you leave school, especially now that we are on strike. For those of us that are in federal universities in Nigeria, now that we're on strike, the thing is, if this is what I'm going to say, if like as it is right now, you're having a glimpse of what your life is most likely going to look like when you are done with school. So if what you're experiencing now is not what you want for yourself after school, I feel you should start doing something about it. You start doing something about it because I'll set an example now. For somebody that you feel like, okay, maybe you have a relative or somebody quite close, that you know that this person is going to like fix you up, help you, position you in places that in a place that, okay, you'll be working and you'll be earning. Cool, great, but person saying until you graduate before something like that, it can happen. But then now that we've been at home for this long, I feel you should have experienced, if your situation is like that, like you have someone that has promised you something like that, you should be experiencing what that person promised, not in its entire, like not entirely, because the person told you that, I'm just citing an example, the person told you that is until after you have a college degree. At least, okay, now you can just say you want to be working as an intern or something lower than somebody that is a college degree holder, at least it's going to give you, you're not really there yet, but it's going to give you, it's not just a story. At least it's as if you're beginning to experience it, but not in its full capacity. At least you know that, okay, you're not blank, you're beginning to experience something. You're beginning to, you're gaining something as well. So you know that it's sort of like sure that when you're done you can get that. But if your case is not like this scenario I just painted now, that it's just anywhere the wind blows we go, I would advise to start making decisions now, maybe from learning a skill, or basically learning a skill. It could be, or learning a trade, or taking a course, anything that could like give you an edge, like for you to say that, okay, I have this experience, because aside your degree you need experience. So that's what I'm going to say on this aspect of living the student life to becoming, like, entering the world of the working class. You should begin to like start making some life-changing decisions for yourself, be taking a little bit of responsibility as well. It's going to like relieve the shock, or the, yeah, I mean, like, let me use the word shock, like, for lack of a better word. It's going to relieve the shock for when you are actually done with school. And for most of it, I know a lot of people that for this part of Nigeria, that because in Nigeria you have to serve, in case you're not in Nigeria, and after you're done with school you have to serve the country. So for most of the people that I know that say they don't want to like go through that NYSC period, you should actually start looking for stuff that would keep you engaged, and like that you can also like receive money from, like get payments for. Basically, you get the gist, sha. Let me not scatter everything I just said rather. So prepare yourself. Then the next on my list is working. Like, another thing that makes it look like our 20s are the hardest is working without getting any form of appreciation. Now that thing is frustrating. That thing can be frustrating because there's this eye. Now let me use that word. There's this eye that people used to look at young people now, like older people used to be like that. There's this way they perceive young people that they don't know what they are doing. Anything they are doing has to come from the mouth of an elder for them to be able to do it right. Like, as if young people of now don't have minds of their own. News flash: a lot of young people I know now are way, like, they are way smarter, more like way brilliant and intelligent than the people that they call boss, or people that are superior to them. But I've noticed that this is like a hard reality for older folks. So it just makes us realize that we're in a messed up system. So when you find yourself in a situation like this, where you see like you are giving your energy, you are giving your time and giving value to something, and you are getting no appreciation of any sort, I would advise that you look for an alternative. Like, look for something else. I don't know the kind of situation you would be. It might be quite difficult, but it's better you leave a situation like that or an environment like that, because you might not know, but it could be telling on your mental health. Yeah, and in a way you might begin to exhibit it to another younger person, and you will not really know that you are repeating what has happened to you to someone else. So it's something that becomes like an endless cycle. So if you find yourself in a situation like that, this is something you should do. Or if when you find yourself in a situation like this, like, you make yourself, how do I put it now? Okay, let me paint a scenario again. I'm a designer, and when I want to get when I'm doing a work for a client, or when I get a client I want to do a job for, and you get to know that, okay, she's this young, or she's a lady, it could get as far as that. So there's some discrimination that comes with it. How do I put it now? Yeah, there's some discriminations that comes with it, that they might not want to pay me the way, like, they will not want to pay for the value. They'll be measuring me. They'll not measuring my work, or the quality of my work, what they're using to measure the quality of my work is me, like the fact that I am young, and it is all shades of crap, permit the word. Like, so if you find yourself in a situation like that, what I would advise you to do, you can actually you can make somebody see you for the way you see yourself. Maybe they'll not see you exactly the way you see yourself, but they'll put some respect on your name. And so there's a way you can communicate to such, if you find yourself in a situation like that, like there's a way you can communicate to such a person, letting them know that like letting them see the value of what you are giving, so that they can understand it, and in cases like that, they get to like reason with you and actually call off the rubbish they were actually doing initially. And if what's come to us, that client has to go, and I know the value of what I want to give you, so you cannot come and be measuring the value of what I want to give you and measuring it with the fact that I am young and I don't need that kind of money. Like, who does not need money, bro? So if you find yourself in a situation like this, these are ways that you can actually what's the word now, like turn the situation around for yourself. Like basically make them see the value of what you are giving. Yeah. Because if you actually allow those kind of people to talk you down or get to you, you begin to see yourself the way they see you. And there's this thing I tell myself, or it's not even a theory, it's practical. Like if you see yourself low, like if you present yourself low, people are going to like see you that, okay, say you are seeing yourself this low, let me take you lower. So it's going to be worse. But if you actually like see yourself in a you actually rate yourself, they might not rate you as much as most times they might rate you even more than the way you rate yourself, and you'll be like, is it me this person is rating like this? Or they might rate you close enough to the way, like pretty close to the way you rate yourself, basically not so low. I hope you guys get the gist. But that's the way out on situations when you find yourself in situations like this. So next on my list on the reasons why our twenties are the hardest is financial worry. Financial worry, guys. The bills will keep coming and they will not stop as long as you are living. So what you have to do in cases like this, guy, is to again either live below your means or try to increase your your sources of income. Exactly. In most cases, most people find themselves trying to live below their means, especially when you find yourself in a system that does not really work. Yeah. And when I say a system, it could be basically the government, the people that hold the people that hold high offices. So when the system is not working really fine and it seems like you are trying but still like bringing you down, you most time tend to lean towards trying to live below your means. So it's either of the two: either you live below your means or you try to increase your flow of income or your source of income. Then I think the last but not the least is most times we tend to like life events, like we force you to kill your passion to be conventional. That's what I'm going to, that's the last on my list. Yeah, it's going to like, what's the word now, again back to system. Now the systems that we find ourselves in and the kind of people that we surround ourselves with can fall into this category of system. Yeah, kind of people surround ourselves within and like with rather, and the policies that our society runs by rather, tends to like make people do away with their passions and just go for what seems to be working. Exactly. For example, there's something you actually want to do because that's what you love and that's where you have the passion, but the system that you find yourself in does not really support that. It could be maybe, let's say, sports. That's what you really want to be into, but the system you find yourself, it looks like before you make a living from this thing, before you actually get to that place you want to get to, it's going to seem hard, and you most times just go with the flow, like okay, let's just look for something by the side, at least maybe money is coming, and we end up going for conventional things. Or it could be like pressure from family members again, that can be like, Shay, you cannot just do this, must you do that one that you want to do, it seems hard, it seems far, it seems difficult. So like we tend to succumb to the pressure of society and systems, that we end up going for what is not really what we want, but as long as it is working. It's sad, but most times it's just this system we find ourselves in, and most times just have to go with the flow. In cases like this, it's not always going with the flow. It's not forever. Let me put it that way. It's not forever, because at some point, a lot of us tend to like break through from like living on what is conventional, what the society's what society is okay with. At some point we tend to like break through it and finally go for that which we really want, and it's actually great. But it's most times in a for you to see that kind of situation is mostly in 2 out of 10 people, so it's very very rare. So you are the one in your situation. I don't know what advice to give you on this part, but for me, I will keep going for what I want, because settling for less, if somebody has settled for less in 2015, but the less did not really see that as less, and could not really find his way out of that less and stayed there, the person now is way below. Like, I will not even call it less, it's lesser than less if the person stayed there. So basically I will say the advice I have for you is to keep pushing, and the Lord is your muscle. Yeah. So well, that is going to be that. I think that's it on the stuff, on the option. What's the word now? On everything I highlighted, that's basically it on it. So that's the end of today's video, and I hope you learned something, and I hope you thrive in your 20s. Yeah, I hope you thrive in your 20s. So that's it for today's video. Bye bye. Please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like and share with your friends. Tell them to subscribe too. I see a lot of newcomers, and I thank you. You guys are a bulk of my subscribers. Then why would I be watching my video and not subscribe? Why are you forgetting? I think that was wrong. People are forgetting. Please subscribe, and don't forget to check out Reni hairs again, so that you can get this luxurious bone straight. Okay, bye.